Raghav Chadha, Aam Aadmi Party MP, joins us. Mr. Chadha, appreciate you joining us. You were in Rajya Sabha, not in Lok Sabha, because this incident happened in Lok Sabha. Having said that, all of you we've seen have come out and actually said that this is not an incident, this was an accident, and now the government needs to be accountable for what has happened.
Look, first of all, this is not just a mere breach in security. This is an attack at the very heart of democracy. It is an attack at an institution that we call as the temple of our democracy, that is the Indian Parliament. Few very important questions, come to my mind, which are as follows. First, how did an intruder, under the guise of a visitor, carry such gas cans or spray cans up till the visitor gallery? As we all know, that in order to reach the visitor gallery, you have to go through 3 different layers of security checks. And not even a mobile phone or a simple pen is permitted to be carried up till the visitor gallery. So how did he manage to carry this? Point number 1. Point number 2, who was the member of parliament who facilitated the visitor pass for the alleged intruder? Because to gain access to the visitors gallery, you require a sitting MP's signature on your visitor pass. Who was this member of parliament? Question number 3, what is the role of this member of parliament? Was he also complicit in this whole breach? Was he part of the larger conspiracy? Was he in the know? And what action is being taken against the MP and against the intruder? These are certain questions that come to one's mind because, quite frankly, the Indian Parliament is by far one of the most secure places in the country. It was the anniversary of the 2001 terrorist attack. And we all paid our frolent tributes and Shraddhanjalis to the Jawans who laid their life in service of the nation earlier in the morning. Number 2, there were high-level intelligence inputs of this being a 2001 attack anniversary, and certain terrorist groups from outside had also announced that they will try and target the Indian Parliament during the winter session. So therefore, there must have been beefed up security inside and outside the Parliament at that point in time. So despite that, ordinary people are able to breach the Parliament security is something that is a matter of grave concern. If the Indian Parliament is not secure, then what can be secure or what part of India can be secured?
Mr. Chadha, you speak of the MP who signed in on the visitors' passes of at least one of the intruders. His name is Pratap, Simha, you know that. He has now spoken with the Speaker of the House and he has made it very clear that, the father of one of the intruders is from his constituency. In good faith, he signed in on a visitor's pass. That could happen to anyone. Mr. Chadha, it could even happen to you, where in good faith, where someone who has no criminal antecedents, you sign in on their visitor's pass. But having said that, what the BJP is also saying that this is an issue of national security and maybe the opposition should come together instead of politicizing it.
Well, there is no doubt in my mind that this is a national security issue and all of us stand shoulder to shoulder with the government. In fact, once the intruder jumped into the chamber, members of the opposition got hold of him, apprehended him and stopped him from going towards the Honorable Speaker's chair. So therefore, all of us are together in this and paramount importance is being given to India's national security. However, one certainly wishes and hopes and prays that the role of every person in this conspiracy is investigated. What are we saying? We are saying that he came to the visitors gallery, the alleged intruder, on the signature of a member of parliament from a particular party. His role needs to be examined and investigated. Our personal belief or assessment is that had this been a member of parliament from the opposition, he would have been booked, he would have been taken into police custody, he would have been perhaps even charged with sections of the NSA Act, perhaps he would have been expelled. But I am not demanding any of this. I am saying at least investigate the role, at least question him, at least try and figure out was he part of the conspiracy before issuing clean chits to MPs merely because they are associated with the ruling party.
Mr. Chadha, tomorrow at 10 a.m., I believe there is a meeting of the India Alliance. I'm sure you're also going to be attending it. What is going to be the plan of action? What is it that you ask of the government at the back of today? Is it a statement that you want from the Home Minister? How are you tackling this issue?
Look, even today in Rajya Sabha, I was present, when the House resumed post-lunch. That is right after the unfortunate incident that happened in the Lok Sabha. All members of the non-treasury benches, that is the opposition, got together and requested the government to issue a response. In fact, the Minister of State for Home Affairs was sitting in the Rajya Sabha at that point in time. He was right across us, and we requested him to at least issue a statement to let us know what has happened, who is behind it, who was the member of parliament whose signatures were there on the visitors' pass, what was the intention behind the attack, and these are certain very important questions that beg an answer. So we requested the MOS home. Unfortunately, he chose not to answer, and ultimately the opposition decided to walk out. So I am very sure that this is something that will be discussed in tomorrow morning's 10 a.m. meeting. I'll too be present, and we'll certainly urge the government to take all political parties in confidence, and this is a matter of India's parliament security. It is not a matter of one party or other or scoring political brownie points. All of us need to come together and resolve this issue. And in conclusion, let me say this, that accountability needs to be fixed. Who is responsible for parliament security? How did this lapse happen? Under whose nose is all this happening? Who all are part of this conspiracy? Why did that MP sign that visitor pass? What was the intention of this group of people who breached the security? These are important questions that need to be answered.